Hi everybody, it's Lucinda Curran here from Eco Health Solutions. I'm just trying again for my Facebook Live because I've been having some audio issues. So if there's people out there listening, just give me a thumbs up so I know that you can hear me. Otherwise I'll be back to do this a fourth time, but that's okay. So yeah, if everything's all good and you can hear, give me a thumbs up and let me know. Excellent, I'll keep going then, that's great. Thank you so much, Nori. So today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about sick building syndrome and what that is, what it means, and how you might know if that's a problem for you. So sick building syndrome is a term that's been around for quite a while, and it's used to describe buildings that cause somebody to feel unwell in some way. So usually what we're looking for is that somebody goes into a built environment and starts feeling unwell, and then especially initially they can leave the environment and start feeling better again. So it could be due to all sorts of different things. It could be something like mold, it could be electromagnetic fields, it could be VOCs off-gassing all the building materials, or it could be any number of different things. And particularly more these days, we're seeing a lot of problems with fragrances and the way that's affecting people's health as well. But so sick building syndrome is basically just that. It's a building that's making somebody sick. And I think the reason it's become much more of a problem these days is because on average, we're spending about 90% of our time indoors. Now, that sounds like a lot, and I actually think when you break it down and think about it, you probably do spend more than 90% of your time indoors. So being indoors means obviously being at home or at work, if you work in an office or some indoor space, but it's also, say, doing the grocery shopping. It could be traveling to or from work or school or whatever it is that you're doing. So any time that you're not outside is counted as indoors. And if you add it up, you probably spend around about 23 hours a day indoors. And obviously when you're spending this amount of time in an indoor environment, it's obviously going to then increase the opportunity for that environment to impact on your health, and particularly if you're not ventilating the space well and all that as well. So my brain's getting sidetracked on all these different angles I could go with you, but I just want to keep it really short and sweet today, and just to the point. So the best way to determine whether your building is making you sick or not, or at least to get to the next stage with determining that, is to ask yourself a very simple question. Do you feel better when you spend time away from the building? So if it's a home, do you feel better when you're at work or when you're on holidays? And if it's workplace or a study place, do you feel better on holidays or at home? Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell, but often what I find people notice is that when they go on holidays, they start to feel better. And then when they come home again, their symptoms either return really, really quickly, or they just start building back up to where they were, and they can end up feeling as sick as before they went away. So that's the key question, and that's the one that I think all of us should frequently ask ourselves, because things do change in our built environments. So the question is, do I feel better when I'm away from this space? And if the answer is yes, then we do need to start investigating as to what the cause may be. In my role as an environmental health assessor, and that's come from me being a building biologist, I'm looking at potential hazards in a home or at a built environment, be it school or workplace. And really, it's not uncommon for me to see all sorts of problems where, all of a sudden people start feeling really sick. It could be a seasonal thing. It may be after they've had a leak or some sort of water damage. It could be after they've got some new equipment, but they haven't sort of joined up all the dots, but they've noticed that there's been a change. Another really obvious one is when somebody's moved to a new address. And again, I have seen this fairly frequently, that people start to feel sick pretty soon after they've moved to a new address. And I've even seen people where they've had such significant symptoms that they've needed to stay home from work. However, they felt so sick in the home, the new home that they've moved to, that they've either gone to work anyway, or they've sat outside in the freezing cold winter to cope, because that's the only place they feel better, and they felt so sick inside. So there are lots of different times and ways that the building can affect our health, and they're just some examples to start you thinking about whether it may be a problem or not. Obviously, once you've come to the determination that there could be something in your home, you don't have to actually go and work that all out. That's the job of myself and my team. So I've got a national team where we service the whole country. We're all around the place, and we can actually come out to you very easily no matter where you are in the country. And what we do is we conduct an environmental health assessment. So this is actually going through your home or workplace to determine what it is in that environment that may be causing the symptoms that your family or colleagues are experiencing. So if that sounds something like I can't speak straight. So if that sounds like it's something that you'd like to explore, then feel free to either message me or give me a call. My phone number is 0488 377 466, or you can email me at lucinda@ecohealthsolutions.com.au, and I'll pop that down in the comments below. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll be back soon, as in sometime in the next week, to have a chat with you and let you know more about this exciting area of the way we can help with our health. I've just had somebody commenting here. I'm just going to press it to see more of that. So somebody's having a problem with secondhand smoke infiltrating the apartment from the neighbours, and using a plug-in room deodorizer on high. That's a significant problem. I think when we're living in quite dense living arrangements, certainly the things that our neighbours do impact our health. So thank you for your comment. The smoke is definitely a very, very big issue, and fortunately those two things that you've mentioned, the plug-in room deodorizer, and I'm glad you didn't call it an air freshener because they certainly don't freshen the air, and I think you know that, but the air room deodorizer and the secondhand cigarette smoke, both of those aren't actually building issues, which is great. They're actually to do with air contaminants, which I guess is fairly obvious. So something like an air purifier could be really helpful for you. So lots of allergies and asthma. All those things are big triggers. Another trigger for asthma as well, in terms of its development and also asthma attacks, is mold, and even the smell of mold. So lots of things to be careful of with all of that. But I hope that's helpful for you. Love to keep chatting with you. Also feel free to type in comments, and I'll be back later today to check in on them. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.